and next to it is a table, and on it are the two big machines. This is my new baby, the Silhouette Cameo, which I know you've all heard me talking about. I've been using quite a bit. So that's just sitting there ready to use, and next to it is the e-bosser, which I haven't used that much lately, but I can use that as an electronic die cutting machine, but it also does embossing, and it works really well. So I will use that. I do use it now and again. So that's just the two. That's all I've got room for on that table. And then under the table I've got some look like iris boxes, but they're art bins where I keep some. A couple of them are empty. One of them's got leftover kits from when I did the WI evening, and that's my trolley for when I go on to crops. And that's just a bag with leftover 12 by 12 plastic bags ready for putting layouts in when they're done. Right, moving on. This is my desk. It's where I spend my time. There's my tripod, and it's right under the windows. I'm sorry about it's a bit bright. So that's photos at the back there. That's another one of my traveller's notebooks. This is the one I used for my holiday in Spain with the girls, and I always try to keep a note of everything we do, because I always forget mainly the names of places that we've been. Then when I come to scrapbook them a few months later, I can't remember places that I've taken a photo of. So I find keeping a journal of what we do each day, where we go, really, really useful. I'm constantly referring to it to remind myself of where we went, what we did, and when we did it. So I find this really useful, and they're so easy to make. This is just a card, and I just printed these off from my computer, and then just sewed along the back, and there we are. And they go into that traveller's notebook cover that I showed you earlier. So that's that, and that I've kept that goes with the photos from the holiday, ready to be scrapped. And these are all my essential tools. This is my box that goes everywhere with me. It goes to crops. I just always have it by my side. It has all my pens and the latest glue pen that I'm using, and my scissors, and all my essential items I just keep in this box. And when I have to go to one of my club evenings, I just put the lid on and I'm all good to go. And then there's my little guillotine. And in this corner, it's my TV. That's always on when I'm scrapping. And it's sitting on a cupboard that's got quite a lot in it that I don't use very often, as many things. So it's got a nice little cupboard. There are some mini albums there on the second shelf down. This is a box of all my stamp blocks. They're a little set of stamp blocks. There's some little tiny stamps in that yellow basket, and then some boxes of bits of ephemera and some really old letters in boxes that are made up chipboard. They're really old. There's some lace down there, all sorts of bits and pieces that don't get used very often, but I know they're there if I ever need them. Quite a lot of stuff would be quite good for children's layouts, I think. So they may come back out again sometime soon. Right, so that's that. That's just tucked in the corner there. And then moving round, behind you can see this. Behind this door is a big built-in cupboard, and that's just full of boxes, Project Life stuff. A lot of Christmas stuff is in there. So I won't go in there today unless you really want to see in there. But it's just jam-packed full of a lot of empty boxes and things that I don't use that much. This here is one of my favourite things. This is my set of Alex drawers. You probably realise that they don't normally come with knobs on the fronts of the drawers. Richard put them on there for me because I struggle a bit opening those drawers with my hands. So he's put little knobs on, and that's really helpful. So just on the top is my caterpillar crop, which is just there ready for me to use all the time. This is my little baby kit that's ready to go. And this is my box of It's all my 4x6 Project Life cards I've put all together in this box. And then there's a selection of 3x4 cards as well. So I've been using the Project Life cards for my Canada album, but also for my holiday album that I've just been working on, the Spanish one, because although I do quite a bit of 12x12, I can't possibly put all my photos, get all my photos done that way. So I fill in the gaps and fill in some of the stories with Project Life, or with Pocket Pages. So all my albums that I do of my holidays are all a mixture of 12x12 and Pocket Pages, and I've been doing quite a lot of those, and that's what I use these. This box is quite handy just to keep it all on my desk, and I haven't got to get all the cards out. It's just a nice little selection. And then I'll just sit myself on my chair, and then we'll quickly go through these drawers. So, top drawer, I've got my little inks and the blending tools, spongy things, and my, what are they called, gelatos. And then here's my sister. I don't have a huge number of distress inks, and I've just got them sitting in the corner there. A couple of little boxes of stamps. So this is the top drawer. Second drawer is kind of I keep it generally empty, and I shove things in here that I'm working on at the moment. So there is a box of, I think it's one of my hip kits. I think it's the summer kit that I'm sort of dipping into when I'm doing my holiday album. So I've just popped things in there when I'm working, and I want to get them out of the way. This one is all about little pots of ephemera that I dip into. So there's flares, there's a few die cut words, some bows that I made a while ago, some little punched out hearts, some frames, little bits and pieces of random ephemera. Some of them are really old, some of them go back to Scraptastic days, some flowers and some little labels. So they're really handy, and there's some die cut hearts as well. They're handy just for dipping into when I want a little thing to, and it's handy just to have this drawer next to me, and I can just dip in and find little bits to fill the space. Now these next two drawers, I love them. I love my punches. There's a whole load of Martha Stewart, and then a lot of woodware. These are the smaller woodware ones, and then there's the roller date stamps in a box in the corner there. I've got a few of those. This is just the first drawer of stamps, not stamps, punches. So that's that one, and then hang on, I will pull the next one open. There we go. And there's the next drawer, the bigger woodware stamp punches. I don't know why I keep calling them stamps. These are punches. And there's some tonic punches. The orange ones are by Tonic, and there's some EK Success ones along the side there. They're more border punches. So again, punches are something I've collected avidly over the years, and I do use quite a lot. Love them. And in the bottom drawer, it's quite handy, just hook my foot under there. It's what I call my tool drawer. In here I keep things that I use periodically. They're small tools. So this one is that's a label maker, a brother label maker, and all the labels that you've seen on some of my boxes and on some of my kits and things like that, it's all made with the brother label maker. And on the right hand side there you can see the various tape cassettes with the different coloured tapes in that I use. Swap them around according to what I'm doing. There's my circle cutter there, and there's an envelope board maker from We Are Memory Keepers. There's a roll of wax paper, there's a glue gun in there, a few other bits and pieces, and there's a hole punch. So yeah, that's just for little tools that I can just pop in there and I always know where to find them. So that's that Alex unit. I do have, get the bin out of the way. Ooh, down here, this is the rest of my, gosh it's heavy, the rest of my Project Life cards. As you can see, it's a bit of a glare from the window, but so every now and again I'll dip in here and top up the smaller box. So that's all the Project Life cards I've got. So I bought a few kits a few years ago, and I'm still working my way through. I think I've only ever bought about 4 kits, 4 of the core kits, but quite a lot of them are still here. These are just the plain cards, so I'll dip in those when I need some, but in the meantime I just keep them tucked away in this big case. Okay, is it in? Okay, I'll leave that there until I can close it properly. Okay, we're nearly finished, nearly at the end. Okay, 2 more shelf units. At the top, loads of empty baskets and empty boxes. And then on this shelf, lots of what they call really useful boxes. There's one with buttons in, chipboard letters, brads, wood veneer. As you can see them. See, they're all been labelled with my label maker. And in this one here, this is my little box of flowers. So in this box are, there we go, I'll show you, lots of little tiny boxes, and each one has got a different colour flower. The green has actually got green flowers, but there's also one with leaves in, which isn't in here. So you can just see I've labelled them by the colour, but also I've tried to match the colour with the colour of the box. They haven't all gone true, but they... So these are when I want little flowers. They're all full. Some of die cut flowers or little silk flowers that I bought. So there's lots of little flowers in there. So that's that box. Right, so that's that shelf. And then coming down, I have this. It's a relatively new Alex unit, and it's a long skinny one. So it's got all these drawers. And on top of it, this has got all my 6x6 paper pads, and this is the box for enamel dots and packets of bling, little sheets of crystals. Oh, and this has got my my little not Kodak, the little zip printer. What's it called? Polaroid. It's a Polaroid zip printer living in there. So that goes on there. And then these drawers have all got, I'll just quickly go through these. I put this bit of foam on top because these are a bit uncomfortable to get your hands in and pull. So I just put that in just to make it a bit more comfortable, and I've labelled them. So these have got new packets of things that I've bought and haven't really opened or made a start on yet. This one has got just there's a bit of glitter and some little paint pots. I think there's some creamies, there's a few things from Shimmers in there as well. There we go, some of those, and the mats for heat resistant mats, and some Flower Soft as well. This is, I call my bling drawer because it's got all my sequins and lots of little brads and some more bits of sequin and shiny stuff. And there's pots of sequins there. All my 60 confetti, and then all my little pots of sequins in there. This is just a photo paper where I keep the paper for the printer for printing on. These are various manuals and spare bits. This is my ephemera drawer, which has got all the ephemera in boxes by colour. So this is the box of pink stuff, and many people do this, so it's not going to be anything unusual. And I've got a box of tags and a box of words and phrases as well, and a box with summer stuff in. So that's that one. Below that I've got printer paper. Some plastic sleeves, and right at the bottom some electronic stuff that I just kept down there. Not very exciting. And this final unit, it looks like it should be 12 by 12, but it's not from IKEA. This is from Argos, and it's not quite as big inside as the IKEA one, so it doesn't hold most of the albums. It holds some albums, but it's not as good because it's not quite big enough for anything 12 by 12. So this is just the folder I use. I keep all my page protectors in this red folder. The folder next to it is for my sketches. I've just printed off a load of sketches, so I've got them all in. I've got them all in here. So a load of sketches I've printed off. These three are all what I use. This is a tonic folder, and these are what I use for most of my dies. These are for. I'll open one up so you can see. This has it's all Spellbinder dies, and it's all on magnetic sheets, and it's just like a little folder really, so you can keep all the dies. So there we are. So that's my die storage. Next I've got some 6x8 albums. The two on the left are December Daily albums, and then there's three other albums. One I did on camera, that's on my 50th birthday, that's the turquoise one, and there's a couple of others, both of which have still got, I've got a little bit of work to do on them. And then below those I've got some DVDs that go in I sometimes watch on my TV. And there's a couple of folders with just some things I've printed out, inspirational layouts that I've printed out and kept a copy of, just in case I want to flick through. The pink folder, this one here, is empty. I've not used that one. And then there's another album on the end there. And at the bottom is more magazines that I've had for years, and a few books of, I think there's a book with some vellum sheets in, there's some overlays in, that's in this folder on the right here. I think this has got some old things that I've, yes, some vellum and some bits of glitter card, I think, and some card that some coloured card. So just stuff that I've had for a while that I don't very often remember to use. So, oops, stick that back in. And that's pretty much it. I hope this hasn't gone on too long. I'm sorry my camera skills are not very good. I find it difficult to keep the camera straight when I'm trying to show you things. So hopefully it hasn't been too difficult to watch. I'll try and edit it so it doesn't look too wobbly. Okay, so this is my Raskog, which I keep by my desk. It does move around whenever it's moving around the room. It doesn't really have a regular home. But on the top here I have got all my thickers and large sheets of alpha stickers. And at the front, just a few thickers that are not letters, that are words or phrases. A lot of these ones I just keep at the front here and dip into now and again, and even a few chipboard sheets I just keep there. And on this side are the smaller letter stickers, small phrases, small words, and a couple of little packs of mini letters and things like that on that side. And on the side you can see I've got pens and small little packs of things that I just pick out now and again when I need them. And on the other side I've got scissors and rulers and, see, a pot of paintbrushes. So that's that side. Next, down here, these are just little bits that I reach for now and again. There's some things for, it's just a little pot of stationery stuff really, and some little box of stamps and some little acrylic flowers. Here's my little guilty pleasures, my little pot of sweeties. They're now all sugar-free, of course. I have sugar-free licorice and sugar-free marshmallows and sugar-free chocolate eclairs. And underneath there's a few renegades from when I was able to eat chocolate, and I haven't been able to bring myself to throw them away yet. And in the bottom drawer, it's all my washi tapes. They're in 2 boxes. The left-hand box is all the warm colours, all the reds and the pinks and the golds. And on the other side are the cool colours, the black and whites and the blues and the greens and the purples. So that's all my washi tapes. And if I turn it round to the other side to look at it from behind, it's where my little sidekick lives, just in the back there. And there's the bag of mini dies that go with it. And there's another box of random ephemera pieces that I've just popped in the back there. It did live on my desk for a while, and then I thought it just needed to be got out of the way. And this basket here just slid along a little bit. It's got a bit jammed, but this basket, these are all embossing powders there. And there's my embossing, it's the Versamark embossing pad, and all the pots of embossing powders lurking at the back there. So that's my rice cog. And I just keep it when I'm sitting at my desk here. It just lives there next to me, so I can just reach for all the little things that I need as I'm working. There's also a little a little palette of watercolour paints. See that there? It just tucks in at the side there. Oops. Tucks in at the side. There we go. So yeah. I like to have this next to me, but if it's in my way and I need to get to something at my Kallax unit, I just push it out the way, and there I can get to everything I need. So there we are. That's my rice cog. So I'm back again. I hope that wasn't too difficult to watch. I'll try and edit it and make it a little bit less wobbly to look at. I'm sorry. It's quite difficult to hold the camera and talk and show things at the same time, which I'm sure anybody who's done them before will realise. So at least hopefully it's given you an idea of what my room looks like. But as I mentioned at the beginning, there is a little twist in the tale, because at the end of July, my youngest daughter and her boyfriend will be coming home for a few months to live with us. They're just finishing their PhDs and they need a little bit of time to do some writing up, and they won't be able to afford to keep their flat going, and then they're going travelling in November. So they're going to come home and live with us for a few months, and I've decided that they should have this room because it's the bigger bedroom of the two. Hannah's room is fine for one, but for 2 people it's just too tight. So come the end of June, beginning of July, there's going to be a big old change around, and everything in here, probably with the exception of the sofa bed, well, I'm pretty sure the sofa bed won't fit, but all the rest of the furniture should hopefully fit in Hannah's room. And then she will move in here with George, and at least they'll have a decent sized room to share. So there will be a bit of a change round, and in some ways it'd be a good opportunity to have a bit of a clear out. As I've mentioned, as I've gone round, I've found things that I haven't used for years and I really need to get rid of. So that will be my opportunity to have a bit of a purge. And then I will emerge with a new scrap room at the end of July, and perhaps after that I'll do another tour and show you how the move has gone. So with that note, on that note, I will say goodbye. Bye.